Hey, this is Giselda, podcast host of Vedics. We're bringing you the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda. For those of you who do not know about Vedics, Vedics is an Ayurveda service provider and a manufacturer of Ayurveda-based dietary supplements, skin and hair products in the United States. Vedics was founded in 2014 by Dr. Shweta Reddy, a Ayurveda physician and a scientist in pharmacology. This is the first episode of Vedics podcast. Shweta is joining us talking about Ayurveda.
Thank you, Giselda, and it is really a pleasure to start our own podcast. Okay, let's talk about Ayurveda now. Ayurveda is literally composed of two words, Ayu and Veda. Ayu means the life and Veda means the science. So, literally, Ayurveda means the science of life. Ayurveda is just not the system of medicine, it is the science of life. Ayurveda originated in an Asian subcontinent for over 5,000 years. This is still the primary choice of medicine in some parts of the world. And WHO approved Ayurveda as an alternative system of medicine. Ayurveda works on the balance and imbalance of the body humors called Vata, Pitta and Kapha. For those of you who do not have any idea about Vata, Pitta and Kapha, these are the biological forces that made us unique. These forces help for normal functioning of our body.
Very interesting. Can you please elaborate on the doshas and the three doshas?
Okay, so naturally all the living items, any plants, animals, humans are made out of 5 elements like air, space, fire, water. The particular composition of these 5 elements results in the Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So for example, Vata. A person with a Vata body type has more of an air element and the space element in their body. A person with a Pitta body type, so they have more of a fire element and the water element in the body. And a person of Kapha body type, they have more of the water element and the earth element in the body. So this is a type of composition we inherit from our parents, and this is genetics too. So all three will present in all human bodies, but in a different proportion. So these proportions make us a unique Prakriti, and the imbalance of those makes a unique Vikriti.
Interesting. We hear a lot about Prakriti and Vikriti. Can you help in giving us more insight on what these are?
Okay, Giselda, if you and I go to a restaurant and we both will have the same meal, and the way you respond is completely different than the way I respond, even though we both have same anatomy and physiology, right?
Okay.
And your emotional levels and your stress tolerance levels, your thought process and your behaviors, everything is unique to me. Why is it so? Even though we have same anatomy and physiology.
Okay.
That means we are born with a particular proportion of this Vata, Pitta and Kapha, which is genetic, and that is what making us the unique individual. That particular composition is called the Prakriti. And anything which goes out of balance, say for example, by nature, I'm not a person who put on weight, but I put on weight. That is an imbalance in my body. That is quite not natural for me. So our body will sense us, hey, you are going out of your track, but we ignore them.
Let's say I'm a Vata.
So if you're a Vata, right? So you are very thin and you are very, smart looking and intelligent and talkative. So those are all your body types. But if you're being a couch potato and then sleeping all the time, living literally a sedentary life, I don't think you can maintain this figure, right? So that makes you a Kapha imbalance.
Okay.
So that is the difference between the Prakriti and the Vikriti. So hope you understand the difference between Prakriti, Vikriti and the three doshas, correct?
Yes, especially now putting it that way.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Shweta, do you have a little bit more to give us on insight of the doshas, prakritis?
I think we covered the basics, very basics about the doshas. And for Prakriti, right? Prakriti is determined at the stage of conception. A lot of people, they confuse between the Prakriti and Vikriti, and they take the treatment for Prakriti, or the oils, dietary supplements, herbs and everything for the Prakriti. So it is not the Prakriti. We always have to maintain the Prakriti and treat the Vikriti.
Wonderful. That's very interesting to know.
So, I born with a tag, like you cannot change the mother of, you care of your address, daughter of or son of. So that's we born with a tag of our biological parents, correct?
Yes.
So that's how we born with a tag of the Prakriti. If, say for example, mom is Vata and dad is Pitta, at the time of conception, if that embryo receives mom as a major composition, then the body type of that particular newborn or going to be born is Vata highest, Pitta the second highest, and Kapha the third highest. So basically you call it as a Vata body type, right? If it receives the other way as dad is a major composition, then the Pitta highest, Vata the second, Kapha the third. It doesn't mean that they don't have Kapha. They do have Kapha, but in a different proportion. So that's how we get the Prakritis in our body, and we born with that tag. So there is nothing we can change. And the other concept that I would like to mention is this Vata, Pitta and Kapha, they fluctuate throughout the season, throughout the day, throughout the year. Say for example, as long as you're healthy, we go to bed in the night, right? So I don't think we can sleep 8 hours in the daytime. No matter what we do, we can close our windows, make the room as dark as possible, but the maximum nap time is 2 hours or 3 hours. As long as you are healthy, I mean to say.
Yes.
That means you did not do a night out or you did not do any party or anything like that. So that is a normal function of Kapha. The Kapha is high at night. So why do we have a buffet for lunch? Why can't we have buffet for breakfast or dinner? Because the lunch is easily digestible by Pitta. That is more fire in the nature, and our fire goes up, more Pitta. Right? Another concept, like as long as we are healthy, our bowel movements are eliminations in the morning. Why is it so? Why don't we eliminate in the midnight? Because Vata. So eliminations are the functions of Vata. We do eliminate in the morning because Vata is more in the body at morning, right? And that's the daily changes that I'm talking about. And there are seasonal changes as well, like the summer, winter, spring. So according to the variations of the nature, our body doshas do fluctuate, but they don't cross their limits to become a Vikriti.
Okay.
And then we do change our, the doshas according to our life cycle. When we are kids or infants, so Kapha is high. More energy, more memory, they are more prone for cough and cold, and so these are Kapha diseases basically. And that's a stage of growing or rejuvenation, which is a Kapha body type. Then in the middle age, so it is Pitta. Why do we get all the hormonal imbalances in the middle age? And why do we get all the teenage stuff in the middle age, right? So that's all the mid-age, which is related to Pitta.
Okay.
And the degenerative phase of life. Like this is a natural cycle. We have to born, grow, stay stable, and then degenerate and leave the world, right?
Yes.
So at the time of degeneration, that is the Vata. That's why arthritis, spondylitis, paralysis, and the degenerative disc disorders. So these are all very prominent as we get older. The constipation, lack of sleep, and all these things.
Right.
That is all because Vata is getting out of track. So this is how the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, they do fluctuate, they do vary, but we always, as long as we maintain our balance and treat the imbalance, we should be good.
Wonderful. So thank you, Shweta. Thank you for listening into Vedic's podcast. Until we meet again, stay tuned, stay safe, and be happy.